Imagine this. You're walking into a room full of people, and you suddenly change color to match the wallpaper. No, not because you're shy, because you evolved camouflage like a chameleon. Sounds ridiculous, right? But here's the shocking part. Nature already solved camouflage millions of years before humans even learned how to use a blanket properly. So today we're asking, could humans ever evolve real biological invisibility? Or at least something better than just standing completely still and praying no one notices? Let's dive in. First off, how do animals actually do it? This isn't magic. They use a mind-blowing system of specialized cells. Things like chromatophores, melanophores, and iridophores. Think of them as tiny biological pixels embedded right under their skin, all connected to a cyberpunk-level control system. A chameleon's skin is basically a living, breathing 4K LED screen with a built-in mood sensor. It can change color for camouflage, to communicate, or even to regulate its body temperature. But if you think that's impressive, let's talk about the octopus. An octopus doesn't just have CGI, it is CGI. Scientists have clocked an octopus changing its entire skin pattern in less than a single millisecond. To put that in perspective, your home Wi-Fi connection is literally slower than an octopus deciding to look like a rock. These animals aren't just changing color. They're painting masterpieces on their own bodies in the blink of an eye, but it gets even weirder. Some animals don't just change their color, they change how light itself behaves. This is called structural coloration, and it's used by some of the most vibrant creatures on Earth, like butterflies, beetles, and many deep-sea animals. Their skin, shells, or wings are covered in microscopic nanoscale structures. These tiny surfaces are shaped so perfectly that they bend, scatter, and interfere with light waves. They aren't using pigments to create color. They are literally reformatting photons on the fly. Others use it to become completely transparent, effectively wiping their visual signature from existence. If humans had structural coloration, your skin could be a mood ring that actually works, shifting from blue to red depending on how you feel. So with all this incredible technology existing in nature, why don't we have it? This brings us to the brutally honest science. Human skin was never built for camouflage. We simply don't have the hardware, no chromatophores, no light-bending nanostructures, no network of adaptive muscles in our skin to control it all. So what did evolution give us instead? Congratulations, humans. You get sunscreen, sometimes freckles. And if you're really lucky, a tan. We were social, noisy, and shockingly confident for a species that couldn't even climb trees properly. We hunted in groups, used tools, and mastered fire. Instead of hiding from predators, we started building fences and throwing spears at them. From an evolutionary standpoint, the immense biological energy required to develop and maintain a complex camouflage system would have been a complete waste for us. So, could we ever evolve it naturally in the future? The short scientific answer is no, absolutely not. Evolution isn't a video game where you just unlock cool features because they sound fun. It only grants traits if they meet very specific criteria. 1. They have to help you survive. 2. They have to help you reproduce. And 3. The energy cost can't be too high. For modern humans, a biological camouflage system fails on all counts. It would require a massive amount of energy, and it offers basically zero evolutionary benefit. We aren't hiding from saber-toothed tigers anymore. We're hiding from our credit card bills and awkward conversations at parties. So natural evolution is off the table. But if evolution won't give it to us, can science? And this is where things get really interesting. The answer is potentially yes, but not in the way you might think. Let's explore 3 scientifically possible paths to human camouflage. First, let's talk about genetic engineering. Could we just take the genes from an octopus or a chameleon and plug them into human DNA using something like CRISPR? Well, technically, we might be able to modify our pigment cells. But the biological reality is a nightmare. Human skin is way too thick, our cellular response time is incredibly slow, and we completely lack the entire muscular and neural network required to control those cells. Trying to give humans chromatophores is like trying to install car headlights on a potato. It's just not built for it. It's a cool idea, but scientifically, it's almost impossible. Now, let's move on to Path B, a nanotech camouflage suit. We're seeing things like adaptive camouflage panels that can change their pattern, wearable micro-laid fabrics, and color-changing polymers that react to their environment. The most promising field is metamaterials, engineered materials that can manipulate light in ways not found in nature. Imagine a suit that combines all of this. It would have tiny cameras on the outside, constantly scanning your surroundings. That visual data would be fed to a processor, which then projects the background image onto a skin of micro-LEDs or other adaptive materials covering your body. When you move, the suit updates in real time. You hide behind a tree, and your suit becomes the tree. You crouch in the grass, and you become the grass. Your whole outfit would essentially be a live stream of whatever is behind you. It's basically the world's most advanced wearable green screen. This is by far the most scientifically achievable and practical path to human camouflage. But what if we want true Harry Potter-style invisibility? That brings us to our third path, a light-bending cloak. This one sounds like pure science fiction, but it's grounded in real, experimental physics. Researchers at universities in the US and Canada have already created early-stage invisibility cloaks. They don't make you vanish entirely, but they can hide small objects from certain angles or specific wavelengths of light. They do this using those same metamaterials we just talked about, or special gradient index lenses. The goal is to build a material that can literally bend light waves around an object, like water flowing around a rock in a stream. The light rays are rerouted and then continue on their original path. If light can't hit your body and bounce off to an observer's eye, then visually your body ceases to exist. This technology is still extremely primitive and has a long way to go, but it represents our closest shot at actual, literal invisibility. So, which method wins? Let's recap. Biological evolution? Not happening. Genetic engineering to give us chameleon skin? Cool, but wildly unrealistic from a biological standpoint. A true light-bending invisibility cloak? It's in the early experimental stages, but it's still very limited. That leaves the nanotech adaptive suit as the clear frontrunner. It's the most possible, the most efficient, and the closest thing to science fiction that we could realistically achieve. So if humans ever evolve camouflage, it won't be through changes in our DNA. It'll be because someone in the year 2050 bought a jacket that runs on a battery. But here's the big twist, the part that changes everything. Humans don't need biological camouflage because we're already building versions that are far better than anything nature ever created. Nature spent millions of years perfecting chromatophores. Humans spent a few decades developing invisibility science. The real future of camouflage isn't about humans changing their skin color. It's about humans commanding light itself. We won't wait a million years for nature to maybe give us a new trait. We'll just build it in a lab. So to answer our initial question, can humans evolve camouflage? Naturally, no. Biologically, through gene editing, very, very unlikely. But technologically? Absolutely yes, and it's probably coming sooner than you think. Your grandkids might just have a stealth mode button on their jackets. If you love exploring the edge of science, the future of humanity, and the wild ideas that might actually come true, then hit that subscribe button and join us as we push the boundaries of what's possible. Thanks for watching.